Yeah, that's right.
You,
Any thoughts on that?
yeah, I have more thoughts on that than probably on a lot of other things. But I don't have any precise ideas either on what the structure would look like. But I think it should have a lot of local input. I think it should have public input. Like right now, everything is the responsibility of the minister. I think that's wrong because it becomes, then the park becomes a political entity. When a new government moves in, it gets to do whatever it wants. Then they're gone and another government gets to do whatever it wants. Most governments are interested in money, so they try to turn the parks into commercial entities, which results in bad things for the park. So I would like to see the park somehow be removed from becoming a political football, whatever, however that could work. I'd like to see that. Also, if we look at the trails in Strathcona, the ones that are built by volunteers, which I helped build a lot of them way back when I was a teenager, they've been in existence now for probably up to 50 years. They're still in great shape. There's no erosion problems. They were well planned. They follow the country. They suit the country. They suit Strathcona Park. The trails that were built by the government are falling into ruin. Some of them are a lot younger than those 40 or 50-year-old trails that I helped to build. That's a result of local knowledge, people that understand the park and the park's personality, Strathcona's particular personality. The government trails probably would be suitable to Banff, where there's a lot less rainfall, a lot gentler terrain. They might be suitable in the Chilcotin. Horses might be suitable in the Chilcotin. Parks in the Chilcotin do have horses. That's fine with me. They don't belong in the coastal rainforest of Strathcona. One size doesn't fit all. And when I guess we talked to you earlier, and when we asked you a little bit about what the Green Party policy was on parks. I'm not a Green Party voter, at least haven't been.
Better change that now.
But you said something about this almost decentralized way, which was your pretty basic conception, where the local people would have input. And when I see also the people had input, it is the people's park. It doesn't belong to the government. And what I've seen of when the people do have input, it results in very good systems. The Strathcona Park Master Plan was created entirely by the public, not the government. It's a public document. This move by the government to erode a part of the master plan to allow the park to suit their purposes, that was a government move against a public document. I think that's wrong. The public spent actually years of effort creating the Strathcona Park Master Plan. It's functioned really well since 1993 until this latest move by the government to trash it for this one specific resort. I think that's wrong, but it was a public created thing. It worked well. The trails were created by the public. They work well. Everything in Strathcona Park that's been created by the public has worked well. The government systems, most of them from my point of view, have only harmed the park. And most government moves have resulted in industrialization, logging roads, logging, mining, damming lakes. That's how the government has treated the park for this first 100 years. I would like to see the next 100 years see the park treated as a park. And I think if people were involved in the process, rather than having government issue edicts from above, they don't understand the park. Most of them have never even seen it. How can they decide what's best for Strathcona? I think the people that use the park and love it should be allowed to have a say in it. There.
Okay. Well, I think that that's a great way to conclude. And just want to end by seeing if you have any questions of the Green Party or any comments for us in terms of Strathcona Park.
One of the things that worries us, and I think is going to be a big problem in the coming decade, is the conflict see might be arising between parks and native land claims, in that in Strathcona in particular, from the watershed west, like the highlands of the park west, I believe are in traditional native territory. And we're in a bit of a conflict with that, morally, and because we like to, obviously we realize that native peoples have been treated poorly, and really they should, get their just rewards from what they've been denied in the past. But I see a bit of a conflict also, because that may conflict with our yearning to have the parks preserved, because they may not see their lands as park lands, and that's a difficult question to answer.
And it's not really one that I think I can answer, because clearly we have to find some way of resolving these land claim issues and making sure that our First Nations essentially get some positive response from the treaty process, and the need to recognize that there's been 150 years of bad policy related to our First Nations. Mm-hmm. The Green Party does believe that we need to find models where we can engage the local people so that they have more control over what happens within the local area and the local community, the kind of thing that Karl talked about. And we also believe that we have to find a just resolution to the First Nations issues. And to the extent that those things conflict, and they will, that we have to be able to sit down together, assuming that we all care about this place, and we have to come to a conclusion that is good for everyone involved. And we're smart people. I mean, the people of British Columbia, the people, the First Nations people, the people in this area, we're all smart people. There ought to be some way to resolve these conflicts so that everybody has a positive outcome. And that's my premise, that we can always find a positive outcome that will preserve the kinds of things that people value, such as wilderness, such as an ability to preserve what I call the commons, the things that we own together, and that we can make those sustainable decisions as well for both parties. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you both for coming and for doing this interview. It's a very critical issue that we have this 100-year-old park that we're celebrating on one level because it is 100 years old and it has been preserved, and yet on another it's threatened with activities that are not in the best interests of the park and that are opposed by a lot of British Columbians. So I thank you for letting us know about what's happening, and hopefully the things will evolve in such a way that these activities will not be proceeding. Whatever that takes, we'll see where that leads us.
Well, we're not done yet.
I know.
We haven't given up.
I know.
No, it's going to be a long way. Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.